When I was a little boy, I was screaming from the top of my lungs, right? I was in a really happy mood. I was just in my house watching my favorite show that was coming on, right? And all of a sudden, bro, I see from the corner of my eye, my father staring at me in this disgusting look. And I'm a little kid, so I don't know what's going on. And he tells me to come here. And so I, I go over to him, right? And he pretty much just tells me to shut up and speak in Hindi, not English, because I'm screaming in English, right? And I should be speaking my own language. So I was just really quiet around my father, and like that was a very minor inconvenience, bro, but this really snowballed into something much, much worse. Because frankly, I didn't want to speak to my own father, who would just tell me off every time I would want to speak to him. Every single time I would ask him something, it would always end up with him lecturing me. And I fucking hated it. So I just zipped my mouth shut. And just like that, I stopped speaking to my father entirely. And that's honestly very, very sad. It's a very, very sad thing to say. Remember how I said it snowballed into something much, much worse? So now every time I'm around my father, I'm 70% more quiet than if let's say I'm trying to talk to my mom, right? I'm trying to speak to my mom, and then my dad walks in the vicinity. I'm just like that, 80% more quiet. And obviously, this transferred into my school life as well. This quietness, this lack of communication transferred into my school life. And just like that, I'm known as that quiet kid who doesn't like to socialize. Every single day, I promise you, bro, there was a case where my quietness affected my social life in school. Every single day, whether it be I wanted to put my hand up to answer a question, but I was just simply too shy and too, insecure to voice my voice. Or if it was I wanted to speak to like a girl that I found cute, but I just couldn't because I was so insecure, right? Things like this, it really did affect my social life really badly just because I was quiet. And like I said before, I was known as that quiet kid who didn't want to socialize, right? But that wasn't the case. I did want to socialize. That's the fucking whole thing, bro. I wanted to socialize. I wanted to be someone who just felt normal, like who felt like a human, who didn't feel secluded in the corner of the fucking classroom anymore, right? I was lonely as hell. And a big part, this is the harsh truth of the whole fucking reason I was lonely as fuck was simply because I didn't voice up. I didn't voice my opinion. I didn't speak up. And that's the harsh truth. Quiet people get respected less. And I know it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that, bro. But it is. That's just how the world fucking is, right? No one who speaks in a quiet tone gets respected, and I don't know, that's just how it is, bro. So if, play the game, right? Play the game. This is the game. You gotta get better at communicating, because otherwise you're just not gonna get respected by anyone. You're not gonna get anywhere in life if you suck at communication. So, bro, after realizing exactly what I just explained to you, right? I took it upon myself to get better at speaking. And I'm just gonna show you a little clip of me 2 years ago, only 2 years ago, me speaking to the camera.
It's the 6th of December 2022. I've come to the decision that I want to move out next year. I didn't think I would have came to this conclusion this quickly, but as my life is now, I'm not studying or doing anything. I see my future not being so bright. If I were to stay comfortable in my parents' home, I undoubtedly see myself being worked to the bone by my father 7 days a week.
So you can probably tell that I was not very good at speaking, like at all. I was speaking in such a soft tone, I didn't know what to say, how to say it. I was shit at talking. And I didn't get any respect from anyone who communicated with me, that's for sure, right? And I'm not saying that I'm the best speaker right now. I'm not, bro. Holy fuck, I have so much more to learn in terms of getting better at speaking. But again, from 2 years ago, it's like I'm a completely different person in terms of speaking skills, right? And this just goes to show that, it's not a matter of time. If it was a matter of time, there wouldn't be 20-year-olds who are better at speaking than 40-year-olds out there, right? There are some 40-year-olds who suck at speaking. And if only time and experience was the main factor here, then every single 40-year-old would be better at speaking than some of these 20-year-olds, but that's not the case. So that shows that it's not just experience and time that makes you better at speaking. There's something else deeper here, right? And the first thing, bros, is how loud you speak. So pretty much you need to speak in a way where you only say what you need to say once, so you don't really need to repeat yourself, because I always had to repeat myself when I would speak so softly, because people would be like, huh? What'd you say? Say it again. It was really annoying, right? So that's a big one. You need to speak loud. I'm not saying to scream out your fucking lungs, by the way. Don't be stupid, bro. Don't be retarded. Speak out of your chest. Out of your chest, right? A lot of people, at least what I did, I used to only speak from my lips or from my mouth, right? Or like from my throat. I only used to speak from my throat like this. And again, that's not, that won't project your voice very well. When you speak from your chest, right, this really does project your voice. You can practice it right now. And the knowledge, that's not the hard part here, right? I've already taught you how to speak louder. You know how to speak louder. The fear that I had of speaking loud, personally, was the fact that I was scared of what everyone else around me in the room would, I didn't want anyone to hear me speak, basically. Because again, I was in a situation where, when, like, let's say I wanted to speak to my mom, and then my dad was in the room as well, I would speak 80% more quiet, just so my mom could hear, just so my dad could not hear, because I didn't want him to hear on our conversation, because again, fucking childhood trauma type shit, right? And that's how I carried on over to school. I only wanted the person next to me to hear what I wanted to say. I didn't want the people behind me, the one, two seats away from me. I didn't want anyone else to hear, because I was scared of everyone's opinions of me. But let me tell you this, bro, it's absolutely fine to speak loud. It's absolutely fine to let everyone hear in on your conversation, as long as you're not talking about, I don't know, fucking weird shit, right? But it's absolutely fine. And again, it garners you more respect from everyone else, because it shows that you simply just don't give a fuck about what others think. And that is attractive. That is what's going to get you respect from other people, right? So speak loud, right? Speak, bro. Like, if I told this to my younger self, he wouldn't want to speak loud still. But let me, it's just, you kind of just have to do this, right? Is this a necessity? Again, you don't have to scream, just project your voice. You can't be quiet. Quiet is no good. Alright, so the next thing in terms of getting better at communicating. So picture this, right? I'm young, again, I don't know, 10 years old, 11 years old or something. And I'm in the garage of my old house. And I'm with my brother, helping him put up a board, like a sign or something, right? Pretty much just, like family. They tell you to fucking help you with stuff. So he tells me to hold it still, hold it still, don't move it. So I'm holding it still, and I'm just, again, I'm really happy. I'm just like, I tell him a joke. Hey, did you do this? And I ended up laughing, like, and then, bro, I dropped it, I flinched, and he nails the fucking board in. And, because of that, because of my mistake, we had to take off the board and do it again. But he wasn't very happy about that. After that happened, he screamed at me pretty loudly, and he said some pretty mean things to me. And so now every time I'm around my brother, I'm not quiet like I was with my dad. But because I made this imperfection mistake with him before, I'm trying to be as perfect as possible, right? I'm trying not to make any mistake, because then he's gonna shout at me. And so, since I'm not trying to make any mistake, if he asks me a question or something one day, like, how do you do this? I'm trying to rush as fast as possible, because I want to answer him as fast as possible so he doesn't shout at me. And a side effect of trying to answer as fast as possible is stuttering my words. I would stutter my words because I didn't want him to wait too long for me to say what I wanted to say. Bro, I'm speaking some fucking sad shit right now, bro. But honestly, this transferred into my school life again, my life outside my family. And so every time I would speak to someone, I would answer very, very quickly, because I didn't want them to wait too long, and I would always just stutter my words. I would always be like, pretty much that type of stuff, right? And a big part of getting better at speaking is simply reducing the amount of times you stutter your words. And in order to do that, you might call me fucking crazy for this, but guys, stuttering is a mental problem. It's all in your head, right? It's not a physical issue. It's not. The reason you stutter your words is simply because you don't want the person who's listening to you to wait too long for you to say what you want to say. That's all it is. That's all stuttering is. If you speak by yourself, if you just say a sentence by yourself, you won't stutter your words because there's no need to, because you're not with anyone, right? You're not scared of what the other person's gonna say to you. So that's all there is to that. And what you need to realize is, again, the longer you make someone wait for you to say something, right, the more respect you garner for yourself. The more respect they're gonna have for you, simply because you know that your time is worth more, and you don't mind the other person waiting for you to say something, right? You don't mind, and that makes people respect you more. If you rush your words, you're gonna get respected a lot less. And I know it's hard to. It's pretty much ingrained in you to answer as fast as possible, because it was for me as well. But just have this in mind, right? All right. So the final thing that helped me become a better speaker. All right. So picture this again. One day I was watching TV with my brother, right? And some issue comes up on the TV. I don't know, some Wi-Fi issue or something, right? And my brother asks me if I can fix it. And obviously I don't know how to fix it because it's my first time working on that TV. But can you guess what I said? I think. I didn't say no, no, I don't know how to fix it, but I will try. I said I think. Or I said maybe, something like that. Articulation is by far the hardest thing to master when it comes to being a better speaker. Pretty much, you put your words in a certain way which makes it the most effective to whoever is listening to you, right? Let me give you an example. Let's say you wanted to tell someone you had a great idea in mind, right? Number one, this version of you would say it like this. Hey, I think, I'm pretty sure this idea could possibly work, I think. Or number two would be like, I believe this idea could be effective. Like number one, articulation was very bad. Number two, articulation was decent. So, it's good. Pretty much the way you articulate your words, the way you say your words, the way you put your words together really does. It makes you sound a lot smarter, pretty much. It makes you sound a lot more confident, much more smarter, much more good with your words. This is the way to get better with your words, and this is by far the hardest thing to master again. This takes a lot of practice. And you'll notice that every single good speaker out there knows how to articulate their words so fucking good, bro. Andrew Tate, I don't know, Barack Obama, fucking like those type of guys, they know how to say a good sentence well, bro. They know how to quickly think and articulate the words. And a good way to start is simply by slowing down your mind. Every word that comes out of your mouth has to go through your mind first. If your mind is rushing like at 50 miles per hour, your words are gonna get jumbled up. Like, it's as simple as that. Slow down your mind. Slow down, don't give a shit if the other person that's listening to you has to wait 1 second longer. It's okay. If you can articulate your words 50% better, but you have to let the person who's listening to you wait 1 second longer, bro, it's worth it. It's worth it, trust me. It's hard to give tips for being better at articulating, but just keep it in mind. Actually, one practical tip I can give you is to literally speak in front of a camera. Speak to a camera, or just speak in a room by yourself. Before words come out of your mouth, let them run through your mind first, and then let them run through your mouth. That's kind of the process you need to go through. And, slowly over time, you should get better at articulating your words. Again, this isn't a short term, you'll get better in 5 days type of thing, right? This takes months, bro, to get better. But again, you're going to get so much better, respect from everyone else. You're going to socialize a lot better. You're not going to be a lonely motherfucker anymore, bro, because this is one big part of it, simply being better at communication. Okay? And if I had this video when I was in high school, bro, this really could have changed my life. Like, genuinely, this really would have changed my life, bro. So I hope it helps you out, okay? If you enjoy the tips and the stories I told in this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel, feel free to like the video, and feel free to comment down underneath. Those 3 things really do help me out a lot, so thank you so much. If you want to follow my Instagram and shoot me a message, it'll be up there. I'll get back to those very soon. And yeah, have a good one.